Hi guys, Norm with you again, and today we've got the big CB power supply on the bench because we're going to be having a look at this, which is Audioline with 341 I think, and I bought this back in 2018 and did a quick initial test on it. As the speaker is blown, the signal meter is stuck and the channel display is bad. This was a barn find, and obviously the radio's been sitting for a long time, then that could cause those three problems. So I have got some spare channel displays, but let's just turn this thing on and see. Oh yes, excuse me. Yeah, so we can see, yeah, the channel display is a bit off there. One of the segments is gone. Signal meter is not moving when I transmit, and obviously we can't hear any audio from the speaker because the speaker is apparently blown. Yes. Okay, so let's open this thing up and see what it's like inside. See if it, consequently this microphone is a bit crap, the plug's not very good, and it's not really a very good microphone, so that'll have to be changed if we can. So let's take, the bottom cover is what we're going to take off first, so let's get into that. I'll just pause here while I take the rest of the screws out. Alright, that's got all the screws out, so let's have a look inside this thing. Wow, that is incredible. Let me just shift this a bit. Absolutely unmolested, untouched, and beautiful. Did I say that? My God, I was expecting to find all kinds of horribleness in here from people trying to tune it up and do various things, but that is absolutely pristine. Nobody's ever touched it. Look at that. Wow. Okay, right, so we need to, I know the speaker's bad. I haven't got an actual speaker that will fit in this at the minute, but so we'll leave that for a minute. But we do need to look at the signal meter and the channel display, so I'll get stripping down the front panel. Incidentally, before we strip down the front panel, headset slipping off, I thought we'd just test the speaker, and yes indeed, the speaker is reading nothing. So that speaker, the coil is blown, and let's have a look together. Let's have a look at what this side looks like, and absolutely as pristine as the other side. Look at that. Wow, that is quite amazing. Okay, so that's got the front panel off, and here is the meter. Now this bulb is actually still good, so we're going to be careful with that. Pop that out if we can. Come on. Yeah, it just seems a little bit stuck in there because it's been in there for so long. Come on. That's it. Yep. Oh, of course, can't put it back in yet because I've got to look at the channel display. Now these new displays probably haven't got quite as long legs as this, so hopefully we'll find it's just like a bad connection on one of these pins to make that work. Okay, so that's the new channel display fitted in, and as you can see, I can't turn it. Looking, oops, I was going to say looking very good, but it's obviously not, because what I've got it in actually, I've had to put it in some of these, I put in these chip sockets to obviously make it longer, and obviously it was just not quite in, but yeah, definitely good there now. So that is that. Now I don't know how it's not going to really look blue when you have the orange or the red filtration in the thing. Can we see that? 16. Oh yeah, no, so it does still show up as blue, but yeah, and the red certainly tames it down a bit. But that's a working channel display, so that's good. And now we've got the Mr. bodged signal meter, which might work, so we'll put that back in, and then see what we can do for speaker. Now I have got this speaker, which is about the same size, but this is very vintage. This is from the 1940s, from a little radio, and it is actually 25 ohms rather than 16. Okay, well there's the meter in the front panel, and from the front you cannot tell it's a mega bodge. Okay, so that's it all, the front of it all back together. So let's now have a look here, and that blue actually looks just right, really. It's not too bright, not too dim, just about perfect. So let's see. Yep, we're now getting all the channels. Superb. So now just plug in the microphone and just see if that signal meter is actually working. So let's see if we can see that on here. No. So sadly that meter is no good. Hi guys, Normandy again, and we're back for part 2 of the Audioline 340 restoration. And in the previous video I initially started calling this a 341, which is incorrect. The 341 is equivalent to the unit N200 excuse me, and this is equivalent to the unit N100, unit N uniace. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do an audio modification to it to make the transmit audio better. Now I've done this in a Audioline 345 home base, and it sounded terrific, because a lot of you people will know that these unit ends and audio lines do sound very bassy and very deep on the modulation. And there's ways around it. You can put different microphones in, and you can do from power mics and all that, but the easiest and best way I've found so far is this mod, and I've printed it out quite big so you can all see it. You have to change over a few components in the audio circuit, and I have to thank Rick at Euro Radio Co for letting me know about this modification. And yep, so there it is. You can pause the screen if you want to write that down. And I've got some of the components there. I've had to order a couple of capacitors, so I've been searching in my box, found most of the capacitors and resistors I need. I had to order a couple. So the plan today is to change over the parts I have got and wait till the new ones get here. But there's like capacitor 99, there's C100 down in there, and there's the 4558, the amp chip. You know, so this is the area we are working in. Okay, so I know a lot of you are probably saying, why would you change it? It's so original inside. Why would you actually modify it? Well, personally, I don't really call this a modification. This is what should have been done before it left the factory, and because this is a modification that needs to be done to all audio lines and all unit ends, and it makes the audio so much better. I might have to turn the camera off and pull these components in. off camera because it's not easy with the tripod in the way when I'm. Okay, so that's done the 3 resistors. Now R70 is here, R71 is here, and R80 is down here. So that's where the 3 resistors are located in the Audioline 100 and Audioline 340. They will be in a slightly different place in the 341 and the Audioline 200, but no problem. You just have to look around on the book because it is all numbered. It is all numbered on the board, so you just have to look for what you need and find it. So now let's start putting in some of the capacitors. Okay, so that took me ages to find C74, and it's right here, right next to the deviation pot. So I was looking all over here trying to find it, couldn't find it, and then it happened to be it was over here. Okay, as you can see there, the orange capacitor is now in. So now we need to do C99, which is this big green one here. So okay, so that's done, and now we can see the 2 nice orange capacitors there in place of the green one and this electrolytic. So it's all looking good, and I've crossed off all the others here. So all I've got now is wait for these 3 capacitors to arrive. They should get here Monday or Tuesday. We're now on Saturday, so just have to wait, which is a bit of a pain. But what I will do in the meantime is make a list of all the capacitors, all the electrolytic capacitors in here. Okay, so now it's a few days later on this Audioline audio mod, and the new capacitors are here. These are the 1 nano, the 33 nano, and I'm a bit worried about these because these are not mylar, these are mylar. These are mylar capacitors. Now obviously that's just a typo, but yeah, they are the mylar capacitors, so they will do the job perfectly. Okay, so let's hope the audio is alright on this bit because I forgot to put on headset, but never mind. Okay, so we need to find first of all C92. Okay, so there's C92, that big green lump there. So I'll replace that with one of the smaller big green lumps and we'll get on. Okay, that's done, and now we need to find what's next? C93 for 330, and thankfully C93 is right there, right next to the one we just changed. So let's get in there and change that one. Okay, so that one's done, it's there and looking nice, so that's good. And so now we just need to do the last one, which is C100, 10 nanofarad to 1 nanofarad mylar, and C100 is right down here. I can't even see it. There we are, that little tiny brown one down there, that is C100, I believe. Yep, there we are. So I'll need the little tweezers to get that one out, and we'll stick that in, and that'll be the final capacitor of the audio mod. So let's get it done. Also done is I've made a list of all the other electrolytic capacitors in the unit, and so I've got to search now to see how many of these I can find in my box, and if I need to order any, because you might as well change all the electrolytics while we're here. This is a pain in the guys. So that's the audio mod done, and all the capacitors have now been changed, and it's gone from all grey and dull to now it's a multicoloured audio line, because we've got yellow capacitors and orange capacitors and blue capacitors and black capacitors. So that's all looking nice and lovely. So all we've got to do now is basically clean up this side of the board with some alcohol and a scrubbing brush. So we'll scrub that all up and get that looking nice, and that'll be the end of this video for today. So in the next video I should be wiring up this this microphone for the radio. This is a coffin style mic, like the radio would have had originally. Now a DMC 520, well the original one would have said Audioline there, but that is pretty much the same as what they would have come with from the factory. This is currently wired for a Superstar. It's a DMC 520-P P6 because it's got a 6-pin plug on it. So we'll have to put the 4-pin plug. I think the radio, the microphone that's with the radio at the minute, seems to have come from Amstrad 901 or similar sort of thing. That's the type of mic that's on it at the minute. So this is more original. This is what it would have had, a coffin style mic. So in the next video I'll wire up this coffin style mic and we'll test the audio, and then we'll get to the old Revex power meter over there, and we'll do a bit of testing with that and the frequency counter, and we'll see how good the radio is. So join me for part 3 for that, guys, and that's where we'll end the video for today. Hi guys, Number2 again, and this is the third part of the Audioline restoration, and what we're going to do today is wire this microphone up for it. And I've got the new 4-pin plug in the little vise there. Can't see it very well because the light isn't very good here at the minute, but never mind. And I've got a basic wiring diagram of the 6-pin and the 4-pin plug. Well, first off, let's see what my handset is reading. This should pick up. So we're on channel 20, which should be 27.79125. So let's see. 27.79026. So the handset is just slightly off, but that's well within a good reading, so that's good. So let's now see what this Audioline is doing. Now hopefully, if all is well, it'll be good. So let's see. 27.79134. That is absolutely perfect. Well, you know, perfect would be 0.25, but 0.34, that is immaculate. We're doing 3 watts exactly on the power supply, on the power meter, sorry, and we're pulling about 2, 4, 6, about 700 milliamps on the power supply, so that's looking good. So now we have to check channel 1 and channel 40 to make sure it's balanced, because sometimes you'll be okay on channel 20, but then the other side of the band will be out. So channel 1 should be 60125. So let's see. Well, we're doing 3 watts exactly, and 601.33. So that's just about perfect. So now let's do channel 40, which is 791 or 99125. Wait a minute, let's check with the handset. Put the handset in channel 40 and 27.99125. Yep, well that's reading 99062. So the handset is doing good, but Not as good as the Audioline, which is doing 991.35. Absolutely beautiful. And again, it's doing 3 watts. And I think, if I remember correctly, these come out of the factory doing about 3 watts. So this is absolutely perfect. I mean, low power is reading 0.6. So low power is easy to adjust. There's an adjuster here which sets the low power offset. So let's just see. Oh no, down, back. 0.5, 0.4. So yeah, that's looking lovely. We can tell that the radio is in good condition because of the power supply and what it's pulling. If it was doing 3 watts and the power supply was pulling like 2 amps, then you would know there's a problem. But because it's only pulling like 2, 4, 6, yeah, about 700 milliamps, and that's doing very, very good. So yeah. Let me just zoom in on the power meter so you can all see it. So bang, 3 watts exactly. And on channel 1, bang, 3 watts exactly. And on channel 20, bang, 3 watts exactly. And so let's now zoom into the counter. We're on channel 20, so 27,79132, and that is absolutely bloody lovely. And so let's go down to channel 1, 27,601.31, absolutely lovely. And 40, 99125, 99133. Well, that is perfect. Hi guys, Norm with you again, and this is a little update on the Audioline 340 restoration. In the first video of the series, there's currently 3 videos, this is number 4. I did a bodge on the signal meter to try and get the signal meter working, and that signal meter bodge failed. But thankfully, I have found another signal meter and fitted it, and this one is working. But now we have to actually set the signal meter up so it reads correctly now on. And we've checked the output of the radio before, and it's outputting the factory standard 3 watts. So when it's doing that, the signal meter should just line up in between this top line, the red and the green. There's a little gap in between the red and the green. And on high power, when I transmit, the signal meter should come to bang on there. Now we've got a dummy load plugged in. Obviously you've got to do this with a dummy load. If you do it on an aerial, you're going to get a false reading. So, and the RF meter pot is right at the back here. So what I'm going to do is make sure we're on high power. Yeah, 4 watts. And whoops, bit of feedback there from the handset. We can see that's reading a little bit low, so we just need to tweak that up a little bit. That's good enough for me. Beautiful. Okay, so let's zoom back out. And so now we have to adjust the incoming signal meter, or the incoming scale. Now, I really should have a signal generator hooked up and set this to a specific level. I haven't currently got a signal generator that will do CB frequencies, but I have got this handset standing by, so what I intend to do is key up this handset and set it to 30 plus, or plus 30, as some would say. or near enough at the end of the scale. So let's zoom in on the meter again so I can see it through the phone. Now for this, I'm looking to go, where are we? Can I point to it on here? Well, anyway, I'm looking to go just to the end of the red. That's where I'm looking to go with this, because this will be the strongest signal you'll ever receive with the handset being so close. So we don't want it to go there, or whatever. So we're very low there, and obviously that's what we don't want. We don't want it going banging off the edge of the scale. So we've got to bring it back. So that's it. And this may have to be readjusted at a later date, but that's generally a reasonable approximation of getting it right, you know. Yep, I'm going to go with that. So that's pretty good. Right, zoom back out. Yeah, so as we can see when we are zoomed in there, it needs a new fascia plate, and you can get these fascia plates. They are on eBay, or a stick-on sort of replacement thing that looks about the same, but they are about 11 or 12 quid, so I don't really want to spend out on one of those at the moment if I can help it. And so yeah, so basically all this thing needs now for it to be electronically perfect is it needs a new speaker. So hi guys, no video again, and here we are on, what is it, part 5 of this Audioline restoration, and I'd like to show that now we have the speaker in the unit. That was one of the last things that we need to do electronically. And there it is. So I couldn't find the exact speaker I needed, so let me show you what I done. Okay, so the original speaker in these is a 16 ohm, 3 watt, 77 millimeter speaker with a square edge on it. Now to find one of those is, I think you'll probably be easier to find some rocking horse manure. And you can find them, but you're talking probably 10 or 15 pounds with delivery, and I was not prepared to pay that much. You know, a speaker for a radio, about a £5 is probably about right. And so what I did then was I looked in the datasheet for the amp chip and found that it will actually take anything down to 4 ohms for a speaker. So then I looked on a different plane. I looked at the 8 ohm speakers, and I found an 8 ohm speaker at 3 watts and fitted it, although it didn't fit actually straight in, as you'll see. This has been modified, and you can see this little bit of red stuff around the edge here. That is actually instant gasket, and what I had to do was cut the square piece off the old speaker. Okay, so here's what I done. I cut off the surround from this original speaker and used that as a bracket to hold in the new speaker. And obviously I put the instant gasket around there just to sort of buffer it and to prevent any rattles or anything, although it is held down very nicely with the 4 screws, so I don't think the gasket paste was needed. But that has now given me a very good speaker, and it sounds very nice. What I will just do now that the instant gasket is dry, I will go around and just rub off any of the excess just to make it look a bit more tidy. And that's it. That's the That's the speaker in the Audioline. Okay, so there it is, guys. That's the Audioline 340 now fully electronically restored and modified. It's had the audio modifications done on it. It's been fully recapped, and it is now probably one of the best Audioline 340s you will ever see. Well, not cosmetically, of course, because cosmetically it is showing its wear and tear, and as you can see, the case is pretty bad. So there you go, guys. That's the Audioline 340 fully electronically restored and looking good. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers for now.